Hello everyone, this is Nandini and today I'm here with the video of complex structures. So basically in Ielts we need to use complex structures in speaking as well as writing module in order to enhance our band scores to 7+. Therefore I will teach you some of the complex structures that you can use in the same. Now firstly we have to understand how to construct such kind of sentence. Let's take two simple sentences. It rained a lot, they had a good time. Now, these two sentences are exactly opposite to each other. Therefore, a student will use but in order to combine these two sentences. He will use but in the way as, it rained a lot, but they had a good time. That's completely wrong if we are thinking about complex structure, as it is not a complex. Now, how to use it in the way as it seems to be complex? We have to use although, even though. Although can be used in the beginning of the sentence or in between the sentence. Although it rained a lot, they had a good time, which is a complex sentence. Now we can also use it in the way as, they had a good time although it rained a lot. This is the same sentence as we constructed earlier, but what is the difference? It's just the change of the position of although. Earlier it was used in the beginning and now it's in between. Let's discuss another example. Although he was sick, he passed the exam. Or he passed the exam although he was sick. So it was very easy. Now we will discuss the use of even though. Now it's very interesting to note that although and even though are used in the same way. Both are used in the similar way. How? Now, as we discussed earlier, although it rained a lot, they had a good time. You can say, even though it rained a lot, they had a good time. Mostly students ask, what is the difference between although and even though? And if both are same, then why we really need although instead of even though, or even though instead of although? So I usually tell them that even though is used when we need to put a lot of emphasis while showing the contrast or the opposite thing, as although it rained a lot, they had a good time. It's normal. But if I'm talking about even though he was sick, he passed the exam. Now, even though he was sick, we are putting lots of emphasis on the sickness, that he was sick. Although he was sick, he passed the exam. Now let's move to the exercise part. Now you are going to help me to solve this. Our first sentence is, I'd hurt my foot, I managed to walk home. How can we use although or even though in between the sentence or in the beginning of the sentence? Firstly, I'll provide you 5 seconds to think. Now let me tell you the answer. You'll say, even though I'd hurt my foot, I managed to walk home. Even though, or you can use although. Instead of even though, you can use although. Although it hurt my foot, I managed to walk home. Hence we conclude that after although, we need to use subject plus verb. Now you can link this formula with the previous sentences and you'll get it. Let's move to in spite of, despite. Let me clear you, in spite of and despite are used in the same way. Let's begin with an example. As earlier I mentioned, it rained a lot, they had a good time. These two sentences can be combined by using but, that you usually do. Let's combine this sentence with in spite of, but before that, you need to learn how to use in spite of in this sentence. Let me tell you the formula to construct complex sentence by using in spite of or despite. After in spite of, you can use a noun, a pronoun. What sort of pronoun? This, that, what, etc. or verb first form plus ing. After in spite of or despite, not with even though or although. Now let's begin. How usually students build the sentence? They say, it rained a lot, but we had a good time. It rained a lot, but we had a good time. In spite of the rain, we had a good time. What is the rain here? The rain is noun. You can't say in spite of it rained. That's absolutely wrong. Let's move to the next sentence. In spite of all our careful plans, a lot of things went wrong. You can see after in spite of we have used noun. All our careful plans. It's not like in spite of we had careful plans. We haven't used in that way, and that is completely wrong. Therefore, we need to use a noun, pronoun or verb first form plus ing after in spite of or despite. Moving to the next sentence. I enjoyed the film in spite of this silly story. Now let me clear you, in spite of can be used in between also if you want to. You have to just shift the sentence which was used in the beginning to the last along with in spite of. There we are getting a perfect sentence as well. Now moving to the next sentence. She wasn't well, but in spite of this, she continued working. Now see the another structure I am going to explain. She wasn't well, but in spite of that. What is that here? That she wasn't well. That is pronoun. So she wasn't well, but in spite of this, she continued working. You can see we haven't used a noun, we haven't used any of the other sentence after in spite of in the way as subject plus verb first form. We have simply used she wasn't well, comma, but in spite of that, she continued working. So this is the way to build a sentence. In spite of what I said yesterday, I still help you. That means in spite of what? What is pronoun. It's not a noun. In spite of what I said yesterday, I still help you. I am just explaining you the way how can we write, how can we build in the perfect way. We played quite well, we lost the game. Now it's kind of an exercise for you. We played quite well, we lost the game. That means we played quite well, but we lost the game. That is the simple sentence or the compound sentence. In spite of playing, now we have used verb first form plus ing after in spite of. In spite of playing well, we lost the game. You can see the difference. Earlier we used that, in spite of that, or in spite of, after that we use the noun. Here we are using verb first form plus ing. In spite of playing well, we lost the game. So it's very easy to construct by using in spite of or despite. Now a tip for you, if you want to use despite, just you have to use despite instead of in spite of. See, we can use in the way as despite playing well, we lost the game. Despite what I said yesterday, I still help you. I enjoyed the film despite the silly story. I hope this video is going to help you and you are going to use such kind of sentences in your speaking as well as writing module to enhance your band score to 7+. All the best, guys. We'll meet you in the next video.